Hi, today I'm doing the I'll get around to it later book tag. A tag that is like some of the ones I've been doing recently, basically questions about your TBR and certain books on it. Seems I've been doing quite a few videos like these recently. I am reading, just a bit slowly, and I will have some actual individual book reviews coming out somewhat soon, so I'm excited to share those with you. Anyway, this tag was originally created by a blogger rather than a booktuber. Her name is, I believe, Liesl Brunner, the owner of a blog called Quote Unquote. I'm not exactly sure what website it is, or if it's her own website, but I believe that is the source of this tag. So the first question is, a classic book that you have been meaning to read forever but haven't read yet. There are a few classics on my TBR, but not a whole lot. They can definitely be intimidating for me. I know some people love them and read them with ease, and I'm not quite one of those people yet, but I am absolutely open to reading more classics, but I cannot guarantee that I will finish or enjoy all of them. Anyway, for this one, I'm saying Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. I know that's a very popular book, a very relevant, important one, and I remember wanting to read that back like 6 years ago, and my English teacher had a copy on her bookshelf, and I would try to read it and didn't get through it. Just could not focus on it at the time. But then again, it's probably because I was not actually really checking out the book and just trying to read it during dismissal, which was way too noisy. That was probably one of the noisiest parts of the school day. But I do still want to read that book. I still think it sounds pretty interesting, and it seems that it has only become more relevant within the past 6 years, and I've seen people reference certain things in technology comparing it to the contents of that book, and so I think it would be a really good book to read, not only because it sounds interesting, but also because it seems to be about some important themes as well. Question 2, a book on your shelf you haven't read yet. Well, there are a lot. In fact, I recently just did a video about my physical TBR answering pretty much just that, and books that aren't on my shelf that I haven't read yet. Basically any book that I already own a physical copy of, but have yet to read. So for this question, I guess I'll just have to pick one answer. But if you want the extensive list, there's that video. I'll pick one that's in frame with these two shelves because there are the two shelves below it that you cannot see with this current angle. I've yet to read the middle grade mystery contemporary novel A Perfect Mistake by Melanie Conklin. I got this book in, I think, March of this year, and I do want to read this. I think it'll be interesting. I really like middle grade. This also has ADHD representation, which I haven't read very much of in books, so I think I'll love that aspect of it as well. It'll probably be pretty good. I've never read anything by this author before. I want to say that I hope I'll get to it soon, but that's probably just not going to happen. At least it's not very long, but I just know there are other books I'm going to end up reading first. But I should read this eventually. It's possible you'll see this years later and I still haven't read it or done a review of it, but I own it. It's there. I'll get to it. Question 3, a book you recently got that you haven't read yet. For this one, I'm going to say the book that is currently right next to A Perfect Mistake on my bookshelf, and that is The Prom Queen by R.L. Stine. This is one of the original Fear Street books. I recently picked this up from Walmart. It is a newer edition, but the book itself is from the 90s. I've read 2 Fear Street books already, and while I didn't absolutely love them, I thought they were pretty good. So I do want to get to this sometime. It's pretty short, so that makes me think I'll probably get to it sooner rather than later, and it's a Fear Street book, and those books are pretty plot-driven. Not that that's my preference, but I'm just saying it should probably move pretty fast and be suspenseful and interesting. There should be like a mystery aspect to it, so that sounds intriguing. So yeah, that is a book I got recently in October, and I hope to read it soon. This one might actually happen within the next few months. If I had to guess, I'd say probably in 2026. Question 4, a book you've had forever but haven't read yet. Most of the books on my physical TBR I've only had for about a year or two. So there isn't really a book that I've had for like years that I still haven't read yet. So I'm going to say a book that I know I didn't get this year. I think I got it last year. For this, I am going to say The Mortification of Phobia Munson by Mary Wynne Hayter. This one still has the Ollie's Bargain Outlet sticker on it. I'll probably remove it when I read it or when I do a review of it, if I read it and do a review of it. I mean, I'm definitely planning on reading it. I just mean like if I finish it, because who knows, this could be a DNF. It probably won't be because I bought it, but who knows. I mean, at least I got it from Ollie's. In this case, the cover intrigued me. I looked at what it was about, because I never buy books just because I like the cover. I have to know what it's about. It sounded interesting enough. This is like a middle grade kind of spooky novel, and so I decided to get it, and I got it for $3 instead of the original $17. I mean, it's a nice looking hardcover. I think it's got really nice end pages as well. It's very pretty. So this isn't really high priority in my TBR, but it might be an interesting book. This is another author I've never read from before, and I think that reading from a new author for the first time is a bit intimidating, but it can be very exciting as well, because maybe you'll find that you really like them. So this book I probably won't read anytime soon, but I'm glad that I picked it up for this tag and looked back at it because it makes me look forward to it a little more. I am still looking forward to reading it someday. Question 5, a book a friend recommended that you haven't read. Well, I have had a friend recommend to me the Warrior Cat series by Aaron Hunter. I know that's a pretty popular book series in my generation, but I've never read any of them, though I have heard of them. So I do plan on someday reading the first book. I believe it's called Into the Wild, but that will probably be a while from now. I do feel more of an incentive to read it because a friend wants me to, but yeah, I don't know. There are just so many books. I feel like most people who watch this video will understand the struggle. Still currently got over 300 books on my TBR. Now, that number isn't added daily. In fact, I can go weeks or even a month or so without adding any new books to it, but still, new books get added, but I do go through it and clear out some of them sometimes. Question 6 is a book you are procrastinating on. I don't know if procrastinating is the word I use because there are so many books on my shelves that I'm really looking forward to reading. It's just that other books become a higher priority. Maybe the contemporary middle grade novel Dive by John David Anderson, because I wanted to read this when it was a new release back in August, and I got it on release day, and it was at the top of my TBR at one point, but now it keeps getting pushed further down, so hopefully I'll get to this in 2026. I'd love to read at least one John David Anderson in 2026. Considering he's one of my favorite authors, I assume I'll want to read it, and I definitely do, but again, there are so many books. Question 7 is the next book on your TBR. I've talked about this before and it hasn't changed. Just haven't started it yet because I'm still reading other books. And that is Time Rider by Tom DeLonge and AJ Hartley. I'm very excited to get to this. At the time of recording this, it should be within the next week, definitely, that I start it. The 8th prompt is to tag some people, and I'm just saying whoever sees this and wants to do it as usual. I think this is a tag that's been going around somewhat, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If there are any questions that you want to answer in the comments, you can do that as well and discuss with me. That's always fun. I always enjoy receiving comments. And yeah, thank you for watching.